Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all my Nash Chaos Shark Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for Post Duelist Pack, Duels of the Deep. This is the third deck that was receiving support in the latest Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist Pack, used by the character Nash in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal series, or Shark himself, or Reginald Castle, however name you want to announce it, but it was used by the Barian support, so I would say Nash is the character who used all these cards. And with the new support, we got revised versions of Nash Knight and also Chaos Nash Knight, versions of the original number monster, which is number 101, which we're also running in this deck, for a bunch of awesome rank up plays you can do for the Chaos numbers, along with the actual shark fish monsters that Nash used to make these Xyz monsters. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck. For the new monsters that we received from the latest Duelist Pack, we are running 3 Abyss Shark. If this card is used for an Xyz summon of a number monster, it can be treated as a level 3 or 4 monster. If all monsters you control are water, minimum 1, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, add 1 level 3, 4, or 5 fish monster from your deck to your hand, except for Abyss Shark. And for the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon monsters except for water monsters. Also, double the first battle damage inflicted to your opponent this turn by your number monsters battling another monster. You can only use this effect of Abyss Shark once per turn. So this is your go-to setup, being able just to use it as your number monster for all the many different options, because we do have rank 4 and also the option for rank 3 Xyz plays in this deck. So being able to utilize Abyss Shark for all those plays, including the rank 5 play, being able to summon out our Nash Knight very easily with this card. It helps for that play, and also being able to search out some of our other cards for the water monsters that may be on the field. For those plays, being able to special summon just for the water option, depending on how many other monsters we may have on the field. For the additional new support, I also run 3 Crystal Shark. Ideally, you do want to run 3. I only pulled 2. I thought I pulled 3 of this card, but I have 1 Cyber Dragon just in a spot for this card. If you want to add another fish monster from the latest set, you can also just increase any of the other number fish monsters we run. But this card works very, very well with Abyss Shark. If this card is used for the Xyz summon of a number monster, it can be treated as a level 3 or 4 monster. And if this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target 1 water monster in the field, special summon this card, but banish this card when it leaves the field. If you do half that monster's attack, also you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except for Xyz monsters. You can only use this effect of Crystal Shark once per turn. So it plays in tandem with your Abyss Shark, being able to use both for the rank 5 Xyz play or any of the other rank Xyz plays, depending on what you want to go for, including rank 3 and 4. But you want to max out these numbers. Even if it says it'll be banished, you're going to use it for an Xyz material, which then material will just go to the graveyard, so you don't have to worry about the banish with your Crystal Shark. For some of the other fish monsters that I run, I also run 3 Silent Angler. If you control a water monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, but you cannot special summon monsters from your hand for the rest of this turn. So just remember that setup with this card, you will most likely want to go for your rank 4 plays with this card. For some of the options, we have the Bahamut Shark in the extra deck, but even just being able to go into some of our other bigger 100 Xyz monsters like Silent Hunter Arc, you have these options available to you with Silent Angler. For more of the setup, we're also running 3 Buzzsaw Shark. You can target 1 water monster you control, special summon from your deck in defense position, 1 fish monster with the same level as that monster but with a different name. And if you do, it cannot activate its effects this turn. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the X deck for the rest of this turn, except for Xyz monsters. And you can also use this effect of Buzzsaw Shark once per turn. If this card is used for an Xyz summon of a water monster, it can be treated as a level 3 or 5 monster, adjusting the plays to work very, very well with our Crystal Shark and Abyss Shark, also giving us the special summon options for both these cards if we control the other one, to then special summon the other one thanks to Buzzsaw Shark from the deck, and then have our rank 5 Xyz play there, or even to use with Buzzsaw Shark since it can be counted as that level 5 monster also. And for the additional monster special summon setup, I also run 3 Silent Sea Nettle. If you control a water monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You cannot special summon monsters except water monsters the turn you activate this effect. And you can banish this card from your graveyard, target up to 3 water monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck. So that recycle can help for some of the one-ofs that we're running in the extra deck, but the majority of the cards in the deck, I would say even all of them, are water monsters, so no restrictions with the many different water lockdown plays we may have. For some of the lower numbers, for the fish monsters, I also run run 2 Lantern Shark. Working well with Buzzsaw Shark, if this card is normal or special summon, you can activate this effect to special summon 1 level 3, 4, or 5 water monster from your hand in defense position, except for Lantern Shark. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, except for Xyz monsters. And you can only use this effect of Lantern Shark once per turn. And if this card is used for an Xyz summon, it can also be treated as a level 3 or 5 monster. Once again, working very, very well with your Abyss Shark and your Crystal Shark, having all 3 of the different Xyz monsters taken into account using these cards, including Lantern Shark, Buzzsaw Shark, and then the 2 new monsters. I also run 2 XYZ Remora, reprinted in the Duels pack, so much easier to get a hold of. I believe Abyss Rising was the last time this card was printed. You can special summon this card from your hand by detaching 2 materials from a monster you control. When summoned this way, you can target 2 level 4 fish monsters in your graveyard, special summon them in defense. Their effects are negated, and they cannot attack or change battle positions, and cannot be used as material for an Xyz summon except for an Xyz summon of a water monster, which is all of our extra decks, so it's really not an issue there. It's just here to help as an additional special summon on the field to give you a level 4 monster to use for your rank Xyz plays, and 2 additional monsters. And since we're not limited to the extra deck, you could summon those cards out on the field and get 2 different Xyz monsters also. I also run 2 Double Fin Shark to finish off the main deck monsters. When this card is normal summon, you can target 1 level 3 or 4 water fish monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in defense position, but negate its effects, and you cannot special summon during the turn you activate this except for water monster. You have plenty of level 4 options in the deck in the form of all the other cards except for our new support, so just having those special summon plays can give us the rank 4 Xyz, which Double Fin Shark can help with the later on in the game. I'll run 2 though. I feel like early on in the beginning turns, it's not as good of a card, just useful to give you that resource as a one-of draw when you go late game. And that is it for the main deck monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. I run 2 of the new Baryon's Chaos Draw. With this, to activate this card, you must draw it if your normal draw phase as your draw, and reveal it. Keep it revealed until main phase 1, and during your main phase, you can activate one of these effects. Send 1 the 7th normal spell from your deck to the graveyard. This effect becomes that spell's effect when this card is activated. Or special summon up to 2 monsters from your deck, but negate their effects. Then immediately after this effect resolves, Xyz summon 1 number monster using them as material, including both of those monsters. So this is just a setup, depending on what you draw, as a special summon to get out your number monster, or being able to set up some other chaos cards, including the rank up magic, the 7th one, to then go into your bigger chaos monsters, which with this deck you have 2 available options, which I'll go over when I get to the extra deck, but the big one being the number C101 Silent Honor Dark to summon out. I also run 2 of the new 7th Ascension. Potentially wanted to run this card to 3. If I were to do so, you can take out one of the one-of spells we'll get to at the end of the spell lineup. You take 1 card from your deck, either a Baryon spell or trap, or a rank up magic quick play spell, or a 7th spell or trap, except for 7th Ascension, and either add to your hand or place it on the top of your deck. If your opponent's monster controls a monster special summon from their extra deck, with this card you can banish it from your graveyard and send 1 rank up magic spell from your hand or graveyard to this effect, becomes that spell's effect, and when this card is activated, you can either use this effect of 7th Ascension once per turn, giving you the option for that spell just as a faster way to utilize it, depending on which one you want. But the main setup will also be to either place on the top of your deck the rank up magic, the 7th one, which we're running 1 copy of. I feel it's all you need for that draw setup, and then the 1 rank up magic quick chaos targeting 1 number Xyz monster you control, except for a number C monster, special summon from your extra deck 1 number C monster with the same name as that monster, but 1 rank higher, using it as Xyz material. Going for the chaos rank play with this card, you only really need 1-ofs of each of these, since they can be searched out with the 7th Ascension, and then set up on the top of the deck to draw, or having that play available to you. And then for some other special summon plays, I also run 3 White Mirror. With this card, target 1 level 4 lower fish monster in your graveyard, special summon it, then you can add 1 monster from your deck to your hand with the same original name as the special summon monster. You can activate 1 White Mirror once per turn, but giving you more of a special summon option, just with some of the other different fish we control, can give you that Xyz play, depending on what monster you go for. Being able to even utilize your Buzzsaw Sharks for that play, and counting them as different levels for what play you may want to go for. And then for the 1-ofs, I run 1 Salvage to help get some of the fish monsters back to our hand, 2 resummon out of the field, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Instant Fusion for the rare fish target in the extra deck as just another level 4 monster, 1 Call by the Grave, and also 1 Monster Reborn to finish off the 1-ofs for the spell lineup. If you want to take out any of these cards to add in a 3rd copy of 7th Ascension, you can either take out the Salvage or the Foolish Burial. And then that is it for the spells. Moving on now to the traps. I run 2 of the new 7th Eternity. More of a backup play for your number Xyz monsters. You target one number Xyz monster you control that has a number between 101 and 107 in its card name, or one Xyz monster you control that has any such monsters as material, and activate one of these effects. Negate the effects of one monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to that targeted monster's attack until the end of this turn, or detach all material from that targeted monster, then special summon one number Xyz monster from your graveyard. You can only use this effect of 7th Eternity once per turn. It's more of a redo for some of your plays, but also giving you the option to stop an opponent's monster effect by having that material on the field. It's just another way to stop them from doing what they want with their own plays by having this continuous trap on the field. The same way to do so is with our final trap in the deck, and that is Infinite Impermanence. 3 copies of this card, just as another way if your opponent goes first. You do have to set up the 7th Eternity on the field to use, but at least being able to have this during your opponent's turn if they go first, and stopping their initial play of a monster they summoned out. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra deck. We'll start off with some of the new Xyz monsters we received from the Duels from the Deep booster pack, and that is Nash Knight. We're running 2 copies of this card. You need 2 level 5 monsters, cannot be destroyed by battle with a number of monsters on the field. And during the main phase, quick effect, you can detach 2 materials from this card to attach one number Xyz monster from your extra deck to this card as material that has a number between 101 and 107 in its name. Then you can attach one other face-up monster on the field to this card as material. You can only use this effect of Nash Knight once per turn. It's more of the 101 Silent on our Arc play, being able to take your opponent's monsters, but also giving you monsters to attach onto it, including number monsters to make use of cards like 7th Eternity. And you also use Nash Knight to Xyz summon into your CXYZ Nash Knight with this card, or Nash Chaos Knight. With this card you need, you can also Xyz summon using this card as any Nash Knight you control. You transfer its materials onto this card. It cannot be destroyed by card effects, and you can detach one material from this card to special summon from your extra deck one number Xyz monster that has a number between 101 and 107 in its name, using this face-up card you control as material, but destroy it during the end phase of the opponent's next end phase. And this is treated as Xyz summon and transfer materials to the summoned monster. You can only use this effect of Nash Knight once per turn. So this option to then give you the play of detaching one to special summon that other extra deck monster helps to go into the other rank up plays that much more quickly. Like I said, we have the 2 other ones to go into, but one of the big ones being Nash's main monster being 101 Silent on our Arc, and number C101 Silent on our Dark, with the respawn power and then the option to take your opponent's monsters. These cards definitely do play similar play roles to Nash Knight and also Nash Chaos Knight, depending on which one you summon out, but still good to use both for the actual plays with the number 101 through 107 plays. My personal choice, I also run one number 103 Ragna Zero and one C103 Ragna Infinity. They're water monsters, so they help with the option of not being locked into the plays that your opponent may try to use against you with both of these cards, and still pretty good destruction plays to utilize as well, with both monsters being able to be special summoned out thanks to Nash Knight also. And I also run the 1 Bahamut Shark and the 1 Totally Awesome for the special summon of Totally Awesome off of Bahamut Shark when detaching a material. And I also run the 1 Stealth Kraken Spawn and the 1 number 4 Stealth Kraken as additional number monsters to summon out into the field to protect your Nash Knight. And the same with number 71 Rebarian Shark as a rank 3 monster you can use with some of your other monsters, including the Abyss Shark, Crystal Shark, and the Buzzsaw Shark. And overlaying onto it, you can go into full armored Black Ray Lancer, or just use the 3 level 4 water monsters as this card was meant to use as a more option to stop and gain attack against your opponent's monsters, and also being able to use this card for those plays if it would be destroyed by battle or card effect as more of a guard against your opponent. With the last monster in the extra deck being the 1 Rare Fish, you run this card as just the instant fusion target option to summon out into the field as another level 4 monster to Xyz summon into with all of our other level 4 monsters into the many rank 4 monsters we run. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, Xyz summoning is a big part of it. So as long as you can set up that Xyz play, being able to have that 1 water monster on your field can start off all those plays, because then you can special summon out your Abyss Shark and then also use its own effect to special summon and add the Crystal Shark, and that will give you the additional overlay of those 2 monsters, being able to then summon out your go-to Nash Knight, which you can then also overlay right into your Nash Xyz Knight, and using your Nash Xyz Knight for the detach to then go into your Silent on our Arc having the remaining play set up depending on what other fish monsters you may have. If you have one additional one in your hand that you can special summon out, that can be used for another overlay of a monster from your extra deck onto the field, being even the play for your number 4 Stealth Kraken, which can be used to also protect the Nash Knight on the field since it is a number monster. It all depends on just what Xyz monsters you want to go into and use against your opponent for that play, whether you want to take the resources or just play up more of a defensive build and utilize the different rank up options also. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Finally finished all 3 of the decks from the latest Duels pack. So may look into building maybe an updated version of Kraken Control revolving around number 4, or may even try some budget options with the Marine Cess as well, depending on what you would like to see. All these decks are pretty affordable, so it all comes down to what you would like to see in the next video, if anything, from the Duels from the Deep. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.